Margaret Moore, and she is with the Watauga County Education Foundation. Thank you so much for being with us today.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Well, wonderful. Go ahead and start today by reminding our viewers a little bit about the Education Foundation for anyone who might not be familiar with you guys.
Okay, it was started several years ago by a couple of ladies who really had a concern for really doing what they could for teachers in the classroom, helping them to create new ideas in the classroom. And it's just kind of blossomed from that to the scholarships that we give to teachers, the grants that we give to teachers. We want to do anything we can to help our teachers out. We have a wonderful group of teachers and a great school system. And we're just here to boost their spirit and give them what we can.
Wonderful. Well, being a teacher, my dad is a teacher, has been a teacher for years, and it's a hard job. There's a lot of work that goes into it, so any support is a good thing, I would imagine.
Well, it is. It's not a, not an 8 to 5 job. It's
right.
It's a day-long process, and teachers oftentimes stay late at school, but then they also take their work home, and we understand that. As a former teacher, I understand that.
Yes. Students, I think a lot of times are like, oh, we have homework, our teachers are giving us all this stuff to do, but teachers have homework too, definitely.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So you guys have some scholarships that you are doing. Talk with us a little bit about these and how they work.
We just finished it. It's called the Price-Deverick Scholarship, and it's a we have $4,000 in our budget to give to our teachers, and it's to encourage them and to help them out with their continuing education. Their professional development. Our teachers, I think I have the numbers close, our teachers have to have a recertification on their certificates. It's like from 5 to 6 years. And in doing that, they have to not only get the recertification, but to do that, they have to get a certain number of hours. And they have to pay for that. Sometimes they'll offer some classes through the county, but that is not necessarily what those teachers need. And so they have to go to workshops, and they have to pay for those workshops themselves, and just the registration fee is quite a bit. So we have a budget of $4,000 that we try to give to the teachers that apply. Well, this year we had 27 teachers to apply for these grants, and we couldn't decide whether to take that money and distribute it among all that qualified, or to just give the money, all the money to a few teachers where they could have more money to spend. But we just felt that if we took that and spread it among those who we felt needed it, that they would benefit by that. So out of the 27, we were only able to grant 16 of those grants. And like I say, most of it went to just registration. And it's pretty expensive for those teachers to go for mileage and to go to a hotel and pay for their meals. But it's just to encourage them and to help them a little bit financially to qualify for this recertification.
Very neat. Well, talk with us a little bit about the application process and what these teachers do to apply for these grants.
Well, that's the other thing. We were talking about time. It takes time for them to fill out those forms and to convince us, I need this money so that I can go to this particular workshop. So it's everything from obviously their background, what they teach. We also look for how many students will be benefited by what these teachers do. And it could be a teacher that has just 28 in their classroom, but it could also be one that it would apply to across the board. So it just depends on what they ask for. They have to fill out their background. Also, some of the other workshops that they've been to. And if they've been to one that we have funded already, obviously then we feel that we need to pass that on to somebody else. But it takes time for them to get together. And some of them do it as a group, but some of them just do it just themselves.
Now, this must be a very difficult process for you guys to look through all these deserving teachers and narrow it down. How do you do that?
It is. It is very hard. We have 6 on our committee, but I think there were only 4 of us that were able to get together, and we extended it this year because of so much bad weather. It was hard for them to get together and do it. But it took several hours for the 4 of us to decide on who, and it's hard because sometimes you know them, you know the teachers. You have to set that aside and see what their need is compared to other people's needs. Yes, and then that was the night that we had another of our big snowstorms, and we had it at my house, and they had to hurry home. So I appreciated the fact that they spent as much time as they did to make those decisions, and it was hard. It's really, really hard. You have to send those letters out, the ones who get the scholarships and those who don't, and those are the ones that are tough. You hate to do it. Yeah.
Tough decisions, got to be done. Now, is this something that you guys do every year?
Yes.
Okay.
Every year, and we're funded. We are, we have wonderful sponsors. We have some community businesses. We have some corporations that help fund these scholarships. Especially Blue Brimco, they fund the other half of this one, and we thank them for that because that helps us to up that scholarship. So we appreciate the community for the way they have supported us. We could use some more, obviously. Okay. The money helps, and that's for the teachers. That's as a former teacher, I know how much community support, just for morale as much as anything else, how that helps.
Absolutely, and our teachers give so much back. We all had some great experiences with teachers and are who we are today because of a lot of the teachers who taught us along the way.
Great influence. Our logo is our children are our future, and I just feel like teachers are called to teach. And I think they would go to these workshops. They would do all of that even without knowing they had to be recertified. That's just you have to love your profession, and our teachers do. They work awfully hard.
Wonderful. Now, if people do want to sponsor, get involved, kind of help donate, so our teachers can have a little more money to do these things, how do people get involved?
Go to the Watauga, the Watauga Education Foundation, and it has its own website, and it will tell you exactly what you need to do. And like I say, we just need that support. We have the pen flapjack flip.
Yes.
Remember, we had a hard time with that. Saying it the other time. Yes. And then our big one is Shooting Stars, and that is May 9th. Those are both fundraisers, but we need sponsors for those. But any amount of monetary help that we can get, we would appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now, what is the process of becoming a sponsor for one of those events?
This process? Well, we have I'll have to make sure I know this is right. We have a certain, you can sponsor, and I believe I'd have to look at my notes. You could sponsor one or the other, the flapjack flip or the Shooting Stars, for a certain amount, or one or the other, or you can do both of them for a little bit more than that. And then, of course, we have a biggie that will you get all sorts of your name on the program and all of that. So it's you're recognized. And they're recognized. The sponsors are.
Fantastic. Now, anything else going on with you guys? 2014, we're not too far into it yet. We've got these 2 fundraisers coming up. Anything else that people need to make sure they know about?
They just need to know the next one will be, one that is coming up that really is not for the public, but it's something else that we sponsor. We sponsor I have to think, the Kate Swift Scholarship for seniors, Watauga High School seniors, and it's $1,000, and they have all obviously apply for it. We're looking those over as we speak. And she was a lady that, oh goodness, goes back to the 1900s. She was wonderful with her family and taught her children well and was very community minded. And so this is based on what you give back to the community. And these seniors fill that out, and we give them $1,000 on that scholarship. So that's coming up with another time we're going to get to meet. And then the biggie is the Shooting Stars on May 9th. And that's exciting to see the talent that these kids in Watauga County have. It is incredible.
Well, you can tell that you have so much passion for what you do. How did you get involved with the Watauga Education Foundation?
I was just asked to be a part of it. They knew that I had been a former teacher, and had some expertise in that area, and love to be a part of the community. We all want to give back to the community, and this is a way of doing it as well. So they just asked me to be on it, and I said yes. So this is only my 2nd year, but I've kind of got my feet wet now, and just like you said, I really have a passion for this now, and I just appreciate all that the foundation does and the support that we get from the community.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming in to talk
with us today.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
And we will be back right after these messages with more of the Mountain Television Network.